what teen out of the main 5, what Teen Titan would you rather have the powers of?
It's pretty good.
Thanks.
Gosh, Robin's pretty
The
simple.
one that we're not playing, we have to pick one we're not playing.
I don't think.
No, it can be any of the 5. It just has to be out of the 5.
Okay.
I mean, it's no secret that I wish I was a shapeshifter, so I would probably pick Beast Boy.
I would stick with Beast Boy because I've always wanted to be able to turn into animals.
Look, all I want to be.
Little, I would pretend I was a cat and I would not cease.
You still haven't ceased.
Do I also get to be a hot, sexy female if I become Starfire?
Oh,
I don't think
no.
But it's part of her superpower package.
No, all Tamaranians are hot, sexy females on the inside.
Listen, you could be a hot, sexy male Tamaranian, or you could be.
Wait, do those exist? Male Tamaranian.
Yeah, they do.
Yes.
Yes, male Tamaranians exist.
Well, no,
This isn't the Amazon.
The representation in the show is actually very like bulky and almost like orcish.
Yeah. Yeah, there are like a lot of like really like rotund male Tamaranians.
Well,
like sumo wrestler type.
That takes if you don't get that superpower, it takes away half the fun of being Starfire.
I think you just want to be a girl.
What? No, I want. I just.
This is an intervention.
Shut up!
Just have an intervention with someone and be like, I don't know how to tell you this, but you are transgender.
It's like he loves girls so much. He wants to be one.
How do we tell him?
I've always had this common theory that one reason men are so attracted to women is that they're jealous of them about how pretty they can be and all this other stuff. But maybe that's just me.
Probably.
Now, I'd like to remind you guys that the question was which one's power
Bold of you to assume I'm
not which one do you get to be.
Whose superpower do you want?
Yeah.
You're still yourself.
I doubt anyone is going to say cyborg because no one wants to lose half of their body.
No. Your power would be that you're really smart and techie.
Dude.
No.
Yeah, but
we'll see.
That's right.
This is a difficult question too because Robin doesn't have any powers. Cyborg.
Yes, he does. Robin has like really good agility.
Robin is smart. Robin's agile. Robin has techie. He's basically cyborg, but can do better martial arts.
I do wish that I could do things like Robin, and I could be that like athletic and that like agile.
Yeah.
I actually, watching the Batman, I really was like, wow, Batgirl is really cool. She could do all these like flips and she could fight with Batman. I was like, man, should I take gymnastics?
There you go. That's more what we're looking at for Robin. He's got super enhanced like abilities.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Robin is just like, it's like, would you like to be a smart gymnast? And yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
At least two of them come with baggage, though. Like yeah, Cyborg having his body eaten and like debating his like nature as a living being. And Raven,
okay, but that doesn't.
Raven with her need to control her emotions at all times.
It's yourself though with their powers. So
Cyborg's power is having robot parts. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to disagree with you.
It's that he's a tech guy.
See, but Cyborg also has a soul.
So here's
everyone
the thing.
Just wants to be Beast Boy. Just admit it.
Yeah, that's
you're
true.
Wrong.
I would really like to be Beast Boy.
Everyone,
sorry, but you're wrong.
Wait,
I
let me
got
talk.
the coolest power.
I think that
Green Monkey DNA.
Shut up. Yeah, Green Monkey DNA. I think that while objectively, like, some of them would come with like hard things to navigate as far as like both Starfire and Raven's powers are dependent on control of a certain amount of either acceptance or control of their emotions. There are some things like Cyborg's whole existential problem about being like, oh, I'm not fully human anymore, because he didn't choose to like put a bunch of cybernetic enhancements on himself. He just was in an accident, and then his dad saved him with the cybernetics. Like, that doesn't mean everyone would be as much of a little bitch about it as he is. Like,
True.
I got cool robot arm. I can shoot big laser cannon.
Joey, we know you want to be a mecha.
Yeah, do we want to answer the question one at a time without talking over each other the entire time?
Please.
Yes.
What? Stupid. Oh yeah, well, still I'd probably choose Starfire. I mean, she's just got such a big, impressive suite of abilities, and even if it was just super strength and flight, imagine the good you could do with the world with that. Or just take over the world. I don't know, but you could do a lot of stuff. That
Cool.
That tracks.
Yeah.
And you could shoot
Ryan.
Your eyes and.
So, as much as I want to say Raven, I would love Raven's powers. However, it would be much like the episode where Starfire and Raven switched bodies, and Starfire just made Raven's powers blow up everything. That would be me with Raven's powers. So, I would definitely have to say Starfire's power for much the same reason as Cyborg. Mainly for the fact that most of the time, if I had to pick just a general power to have, it would be flight, because I would always love to fly. So
cool. Paul.
Yeah, I'm actually on the fence between like I said, Beast Boy, turning into animals, shape-shifting. I've always wanted to be a shapeshifter. But on the other hand, Raven's powers would be pretty rad, especially because there doesn't seem to be any particular limit to them. Like, she can kind of do whatever the story calls for. And, it can even just shoot these big, demon-eliminating beams as the situation calls for. There's, the baggage of her, needing to manage and be aware of her emotions, but, I've got my own issues. I'm already doing that. So,
yeah.
I'd be fine. It would just play into the stuff I already do for self-care.
Yep. Charlie?
Charlie.
Sorry, I was muted. So much like Robin, I really just want to be able to fly. So I went through the 3 options of flight, which is Raven, obviously, Starfire, and then Beast Boy, because you can turn into birds. And I decided that I still want to have hands when I'm flying. So I'm gonna go with Starfire. The whole Raven thing, I don't like the whole that it's attached to the dark element and you have to control your emotions. I don't want to have to deal with that. I want to just be able to fly and do my own thing and have super strength. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm already a dark.
Cool. Edgy.
I still want to be Beast Boy. I've always wanted to be animals, and I could be every animal like that. So yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Beast Boy.
I do think that Robin's abilities are cool, even though they are natural to himself and not superpowers. And I would want to be that smart and cool and athletic. But I want to be animals.
She wants to be animals.
There you have it, folks. She wants to be animals.
Yes.
Or you can ride animals as Aqualad.
No, he's not one of the main 5.
All right, main 5.
Titans
I
East.
would have to say there's a lot of reasons why I would want any of their powers. You know, a lot of Starfire's sheer power and speed appeals to me. But honestly, I find myself weirdly attracted to just like the minimalist aspect of wishing for Robin's physical skills and intelligence, just because, I don't know, like I don't think I really need to be a super powerful superhero. Just I would appreciate just, well, being able to do the things that I already want to improve upon my own self to do, like be able to fight, or learn things so that I'm better equipped to handle lots of different situations, and so yeah. Also, I really really like the character Dick Grayson and how he grows up into Nightwing, and like his whole, yeah, just like even just the way that he's physically fit is appealing to me in a way. Like I'm like he's like lean and muscular, and he's because he's like a gymnast and fighter, and that's appealing to me. It's kind of body goals or whatever. I don't know.
So there you have it, folks. Yeah. Even after all of that preamble, nobody wants to be Cyborg.
Nobody wants to be a mech.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to take issue with referring to robot people as mechs.
So we should do it as much as possible.
My point was that you would become a mech because you wouldn't be a cyborg, so you'd create like outward, guns and stuff. That was kind of where I was going.
You're modular.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So you would be a mech. Unless you decide to go through what Cyborg went through, and I don't know if he had like a bad accident. I don't actually know Cyborg's
I still think
backstory.
Cyborg's superpower is having half his body eaten by a giant amoeba and having a dad who's a
scientist. Now, I will say, if the story could turn into a dragon canonically, that would change my answer entirely.
Oh, 100%.
Well, there are versions of Beast Boy that can, like, eventually in the comics down the line, he figures out how to just turn into anything he can, even like mystical animal, and it's pretty nonsense.
Well, I'll take that power specifically.
Okay, yeah. Can I be the version of Cyborg that simultaneously has the power set of the live action movie Cyborg, but the pretty boy looks of Genos from One Punch Man?
You want to be Genos from One Punch Man?
I want to be Genos.
my only problem, yeah. So basically, we've come to the answer that no one wants to be Cyborg, and even when they want to be Cyborg, they don't actually want to be Cyborg. They want to be Genos.
Yeah, and also listen. Then I want to be Robin, but with the skill set of One Punch Man.
Can I have the powers of Trigon?
Yeah, I want to be Raven, but with Trigon's powers.
No, I want to be me, but I'm Raven, but with Trigon's powers.
Yeah.
And I look like Genos.
But I look like Sasuke.
We all know at least somebody out there wants to be Cyborg.
I don't know.
Yeah, the little kid in the park that he met.
If you're listening and you want to be Cyborg, comment.
Kyle saw Cyborg as his hero.
Dude, I think Cyborg's power set is really cool. I might put Cyborg second to Starfire. Because you're modular, you can create just about anything, and I'm a Shadowrun fan, so I've been over this 100 times of what kind of stuff I can outfit my body with. Like, you can have all kinds of cyber things in your arms. You can live forever. You can get a cyber penis. I mean,
oh my god, it vibrates.
Okay, I think we're done.
And there it is. There's the end.
There's gonna be like when we eventually have that vast fandom, there's gonna be like an entry on every wiki for like whether or not cyber penis was discussed. It's like roughly every other episode, I feel like.
Yeah, it'll be a TV tropes page started by Dylan.
Vibrate at will.
Can his cyber penis feel?
We've already talked about this.
Wait,
we did. What's the answer?
Does he have bioengineered nerves?
No diseases. climax at will. You can freaking vibrate and make it any size you want. I mean, there's a lot of value to this.
Mechanical
Does he call it the
Thanks,
Sonic?
I hate it.
You just have like different attachments based on who you're dating.
Oh
Yeah.
I just got the mental.
Okay.
I just heard this, guys. In my head, in my brain, I just heard this. Ooh yeah.
I knew I should have stayed home today.
My goodness, God. You could like man, you could tentacle that thing
we're
up.
done. We're done.
He's a tentacle. It's over.
We're done.
On this episode of Teen Titans Roll. Okay.
Fucking blink dogs.
Fucking blink dogs, indeed. So, last time on Teen Titans Roll, after a struggle with the mysterious figure known as Red X, who they never actually learned was named Red X because he just fucking spam attacked and went all crazy, and a bunch of dogs were summoned and a bunch of bullshit happened, and everyone is restrained almost right now by various things. The mask, in a moment of frustration at this, Raven used her telekinesis to pull free the mask over this individual and revealed there, frothing, enraged, but now very much aware of the revelation of his identity, is Robin. And I'm done. You go.
I changed back into Beast Boy, and I'm like, Robin? What?
All right, I'm not handling this one. It's you guys up.
You're paralyzed.
You see Starfire, there's a look on her face that's like not exactly like sadness or confusion, just almost like fear, almost like dread, but her voice is like surprisingly calm as she said, You hurt Twinkie. You hurt me. That is not nice.
Yeah, dude, you exploded a freaking grenade on all of us. You hurt all the dogs. You hurt all the dogs. What? I got your blood in my mouth. Jeez.
Maybe it's not actually Robin at all. Maybe we shoot his face off and see the robot underneath.
I should say, right now, Cyborg can't talk. He's hacked for the next minute.
Oh, right. That's right. Sorry.
Well, I think he can speak falteringly.
Falteringly. No shooting faces off.
I'm just standing there shaking my head.
Yeah.
I start pouting and comforting the injured dogs. Like, oh, Twinkie, Stinky, oh my gosh.
Yeah, they huddle around you for pets and lick you for a little while. They do. How long do they last?
Good question. Let me look that up.
All right, hey, Robin, explain your. Dang it, I can't talk. Sorry. Wow. Y'all go.
Speak a little bit more falteringly and you'll be fine.
No, probably better that I don't. Y'all go.
What's the name of this spell? Summon
woodland fucking beings. Or conjure.
Conjure would.
Conjure woodlands.
I don't think Starfire would be the one to exactly call him to accountability. I think she's very much in observation mode right now.
Yeah.
Just shocked a little bit.
1 hour.
Jeez.
I hate you. I really thought that spell would the length of that spell would be like a minute, but then I was like, wait, I think it's an hour. Oh shit.
It is so long.
So
yeah, I have dogs for an hour.
Are we all just staring at him, or?
Yeah.
I mean, it's up to you. What are you guys doing? How do you respond, Robin? Also, just to reset the scene. So Cyborg has been hacked, and you have no operation of yourself. Although in the show, I think he does speak in that state. So I'll say that you can speak, even though usually paralyzed.
He just can't.
Yeah. Yeah, he can't move his limbs right now. Oh my god. Please stop sending Waluigi cosplay into the chat.
I see female Waluigi cosplay. Why is this here?
Guys, dramatic moment. Read the room.
Yeah. And Starfire and Raven are restrained with the Red X gel, which so Starfire, you feel free over the course of this time to like make some rolls to see when you break out of that if you want.
Strength,
you probably will it's strength. You probably will eventually. Raven, you have literally no chance of breaking out.
Yep, I'm just chilling.
Because your
I'm just shaking my head at him.
I can't just sit around when Slade's out there. It's my fault that we haven't caught him. He sent us Cinder Block. We killed him. I lost control. I wasn't thinking ahead. And it cost the life of the prison warden. We haven't been able to catch him. What's going to be next? What's it going to take? And I'm not going to condemn you guys, but I can't just sit around watching movies when he's out there. This is something that I have to do. And at this point, I need to do this myself.
I thought we were a team.
We are. But this is something I have to do. And I want to disengage and try and parkour off the side of the... Well, parkour out of the way, if I can.
Okay.
And... Actually, yeah.
Can I talk yet?
Yeah, you can talk. You're fine. I ruled that you can talk. Yeah.
That's
I mean,
all.
Right. So, all right. So just a few things, if that's.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Are the restraints on Raven? Can I tell if they're magical?
You cannot.
Okay. Can I cast freedom of movement on her? I don't know if it would work though.
You certainly could try. Do you think you? Yeah, you can certainly try. I guess if we're gonna go into like who wants to do what when, I guess we'd return to initiative order, which we still have up.
So Raven went last in the initiative order.
Yeah.
I rolled a 30. I'm assuming that breaks my bonds.
Yeah, I believe it was a DC 25, if I am correct.
Yes.
Yeah. For that one, it's 25. So
yes,
you do manage to stretch the goo and the gel free, and it snaps free, though a lot of it is still stuck to your body, like in your hair and stuff, and it'll be hard to get out, but it's not restraining your movement.
Yeah, I think that with sort of a Robin's statement hanging in the air and mostly silence as a response, I just kind of say, I do not I do not enjoy being deceived, and I think I'm going to take off.
Okay.
I say, well, we all knew he was going to go through his Batman phase at some point, where he'd go off and be a loner and maybe go a little bit insane for a while. I just didn't think it would be this soon.
Does he really not think that we're capable enough as a team together? He has to do this himself.
Great role play. Let's just resolve what choices are being made here. So Robin disengages. You're prone, so you're no longer restrained by anything, but you're prone. So you use half your movement to stand up, and then you can disengage, and you through the blink dogs, and you can feel free to leap over and use the rest of your movement to move if you'd like to.
So I'm going to disengage, jump onto the... Yes.
Now, your mask is still floating telekinetically in Raven's grasp.
Can I make another one of them? Or do I have another one of them?
Considering how complex the whole suit is, it would probably take a while to fabricate a new mask piece. It's got some... I mean, if you literally just wanted a regular mask, it depends on the complexity. If you wanted a mask that would integrate with the rest of the suit for things like the invisibility, then it would take a little while. But you could drop some elements like the voice changer or things like that. But to sell the whole persona, especially to Slade, if that's still your plan, the fastest thing would just be to grab this mask. I don't think you would have a fully operative spare.
Okay, then I'll try and grab the mask as I go, I guess.
All right.
Can I try and tell one of the blink dogs to grab it?
It's Robin's turn.
It's Robin's turn. The blink dogs can pursue or do whatever you would like on their turn. But Ravens, we've kind of figured out that telekinesis doesn't work like in reaction or like in perpetuity throughout other people's turns. So for objects, like it's kind of like you actively use it on your own turn to use the effect. So I would say it's simple enough for you to grab the mask. Now that won't stop her from then trying to grab it again on her own turn in the future if she is able to. So just keep that in mind. It's kind of telekinesis as a spell is sort of a game of keep away.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you can grab it and jump down with no issue and start running along the alleyway. If that is your choice.
I want to grab the mask, and as I land on the ledge just before I jump over, I put on the mask and say, right now, we need red X. And then I'm going to jump down.
Great. Okay, so Beast Boy, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm going to lick my hand and slap it on Raven's restraints and cast freedom of movement on her.
All right. So you can do that. Now she's hovering off the edge of the roof, or she was. So you can turn into a bird easy though.
Oh yeah, how would I catch her?
Well, you could probably run off the ledge, jump.
Well, I wouldn't be able to cast the spell on her if I'm a bird.
But you can turn into a bird right after. It'd be action, bonus action to do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. So I leap over to her and I cast that on her, and then I bonus action turn into a.
Okay. It is. There's some street lighting and things like that, but there are plenty of areas around in the alleyways that go into dim light and then eventually darkness. But you do have dark vision, and
then I will be a giant.
Okay. Cool. All right. Now you can command your blink dogs can take action.
How far of a fall? How high is the building?
20 feet.
Okay. Could a blink dog hypothetically jump down 20 feet without injuring themselves?
They would injure themselves. They would take 2d6 damage.
I'm not going to have them. Well, okay. No, I'm going to have them blink down into the alley.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, they can blink.
They can blink up to 40 feet away.
God damn it, these are not regular dogs.
Yeah. So they're going to blink down into the alley and surround him, I guess.
All right. Well, so Robin, how much did you devote to movement? You had half your movement from the time you stood up. You also have, you also have key points and stuff you can devote to movement if you want
to. I mean, I would step of the wind. 67. So 65-ish.
So they would blink down, and they can go 40 feet. So they would probably go as far as they could.
You can blink 40 feet and then run 40 feet.
Okay, so they would be able to catch up to you that first turn. And so the dogs do like blink down and surround you in the alley. Starfire, you said you flew away. So
I think I'm leaving.
All right. Raven, with this spell cast on you, you can use 5 feet of movement to escape a restraint. So basically, you're kind of like have this. Yeah, what is freedom of movement? It's like, I don't know how it manifests exactly, honestly, but it's like you're like, I've never heard anyone describe what freedom of movement looks like, but you can.
I mean, I described it as licking my hand and slapping their
so
magical thing.
So Beast Boy slapped you, like jumped off the thing, and then like as he was falling, like probably like slapped your leg or something, and then turned into a bird, and then you start to feel like kind of like oily, like this wet oiliness, and you know that you can move. You can just move a little bit, and the weird restraints will slip off you.
That sounds good. I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
I hate the rest of this, but
yeah. So you move, and you're like, ugh. And the sticky stuff does slip off of you with no problem, and you're grateful because you were like, you were not envying the idea of trying to get that shit out of your hair and your clothes and stuff later, but so you're glad that's gone. Although now you're like oily and wet, and you're like, I don't like that. But all right,
worse things.
So that's your movement. Now Robin is down in the alleyway now. At least it's not Beast Boy, something else that we've talked about.
No.
Can I try to like restrain him with telekinesis?
Sure.
Let's try to grab him. 19.
19. All right. Rapping.
Looking for. So I had advantage on a strength check because I'm still in a rage.
Yes, you would still be for a little while.
And it's a strength check, not a strength saving throw.
It is a check.
Okay.
Oh wow.
So I rolled a 19. That's the advantage one.
Yeah. All right. Let me look up what the hell happens at ties. I think ties goes to the defender. So, Robin, you do manage to pull free just barely of the telekinetic influence.
Jeez.
All right. So,
wait, I have a bonus action.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm gonna just catch up to him if I can do that and try to block his way. I'm gonna like float in front of him, and I'm gonna say, "We're not done talking."
Cyborg, you're still paralyzed for probably the better part of a minute, so probably like 6 or 7 rounds. I'm gonna say 6. So you're still paralyzed at the moment.
That's okay. I'd just be sulking if I wasn't.
All right.
Wow, so he's sticky things for all of us, but for Cyborg, he can just like completely incapacitate him, huh?
Yeah.
He was like mostly worried about Cyborg.
Well, I mean, Raven was completely incapacitated. But...
Yeah, his restraint for me, I could just wrestle out of in 2 turns.
Yeah,
that's hurtful.
But he used the restraint that was designed for Beast Boy, which is lower strength yield, but more versatility for shapeshifting.
Don't give away my abilities.
I'm just talking about what happens in the episode. This is not something you know. But anyway, but okay, so back up to the top of the round. Robin, it's your turn. There are dogs around you, and there is Raven kind of in front of you. You're in an alleyway. By this point, you would have gotten like just up to like where the street was. And then you could cross the street, and there's another alleyway on that side of the street. Yeah. So basically, yeah, Raven is kind of floating kind of like near / kind of in front of you, and there are dogs.
I'm gonna make a ranged attack against Raven.
Okay, go ahead.
It doesn't have to be this hard, guys. Just let me go.
I mean,
11.
Sure. 11 will not hit.
Well, then I'm going to send another range attack at her. My gosh,
that's 12.
Goodness.
You don't even have to do that well to hit Raven, but you still are not doing great. So
as I said, yeah. Roll 20 hates me.
So you sent 2 ranged attacks. What were those ranged attacks? Just
silent X's.
Kind of have a visual. Okay, yeah, I figured. So you fire 2 X's at her, but she kind of weaves out of the way. And you still have your bonus action and movement, and you could use your bonus action for some hits if you wanted to. There are blink dogs around you, but you could slip past them as well.
Why not? I'm going to flurry of blows.
All right, what are you hitting?
I'm hitting Raven with one of them. There it is.
That'll do it. All right.
I'm going to use a key point and use stunning strike.
All right. We're punching our friends. Yay!
Yay! It's a good old Saturday night.
Like all of this was like I mean, yes, he used a grenade, but like sort of still could have been interpreted in like this kind of world as like sort of just nonsense, but then he just pulled out the backhand.
Listen, Robin's not in a really good place right now.
Clearly. That is evident.
It's 10 points of damage, and I need a Constitution saving throw from Raven.
That's not cool.
But how much emotional then?
A lot, probably.
A lot.
I rolled a 7.
Yeah,
that will not do it.
I figured.
Robin fucking hits you. And
why?
He straight up he also does this crazy fucking chi point shit, and you're like, ugh, and you are stunned.
Oh no.
that was funny. Okay, so
I'm going to use my other one for one of the dogs.
All right.
Unfortunately.
All right. So I would say, given the size of the alleyway, there are probably 2 dogs that were able to be behind you. Well, yeah. So they kind of would have tried to come around you, but yeah, you probably only have to get 2 dogs out of the way for them to not be in front of you at all. Or at least, or 1. Yeah, you need to stun 1. To get through it.
Well, that's a 26 to hit for that dog.
Yeah, that should hit the dog.
And that's going to be 9 points of damage for that dog.
All right. Now, I hope that you still had the HP on hand for these fucking dogs.
I don't know which dog this is, because some of them have more HP damage than others. Because some
have damage. No.
This is why I don't like this spell.
I should probably do a roll of which dog it is.
Yeah, that'd be fair. So basically, some have half the damage as others. So yeah.
Yeah, most of them have. Oh god.
I'm just saying now, if it's Twinkie, I'll kick your skull in.
Twinkie has more HP, so Twinkie will live.
I like Twinkies.
Okay.
They're fey dogs. They don't die.
Well, no,
yeah, they feel pain.
They do die.
I think they just go back to the.
Yeah, I think they just go back to the Feywild. Yeah.
Okay. I was really worried that he was going to kill my dogs.
Fucking murders your dog.
I know, right? Listen, if it's going to murder the dogs, I'm not going to want to murder the dogs.
Okay. Let me just say this. Just as a disclaimer before I say this, I love dogs.
Okay,
it's Twinkie.
But Twinkie is alive.
So I love dogs, but they're always the most annoying enemy in video games or anything. So they're the worst.
So what was it? 8 damage? 9 damage?
9.
Okay. So it was Twinkie, but Twinkie is still up.
All right.
Then give me a Constitution saving throw.
Yep, Constitution saving throw for Twinkie.
18.
Jeez, really? It's not stunned.
Damn it.
Twinkie's just too good.
All right. So, yeah.
Twinkie just puts his head to the side, like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Now, you still got movement. Well, I guess if they've kind of surrounded you, so you can't move.
Wait, am I before them, or
you are before them?
Yes.
Okay. So,
sorry, he was attacking. I'm getting mixed up. He was attacking them.
No, you're good. I was just determining that I don't think he could move yet, because I think they've kind of gotten in front of him. But yeah, so like given the alleyway, so this and Raven wanted to be in front of you, so Raven would have been in front of you in one of the spots, and then a dog would have been in the other, and so that would have also made sense in terms of like where you were attacking. So basically, Raven, you can slip through her space no problem, probably because she's stunned. So if you still wanted to use your movement, you could move further.
Is there any way around me that can make it so that the dogs can't all attack me at once?
Can I call the police?
So basically you're at the end of the alleyway. Yeah. Not all of them are attacking you at once because they can't all get to you in the alleyway at once because it's smaller size. But you're now at the sidewalk, and there's a road. The road is about it's like 10 feet for each car, so it's a little over 20. So you can cross the road, and there's another alleyway, and there's buildings and stuff, or you could run along. You could go right or left and run along the sidewalks. There's lots of shops and things. Now most of them are closed at this hour, and it's just street lights.
Is there a second story window near me that I can just or hop up and kind of grab a ledge and kind of hang onto the side of the building?
There's some across the street, and there's some on this side of the street. So yes.
Okay, I'll go on this side of the street.
All right.
And kind of parkour up, kind of high enough that they can't reach me from the ground.
Okay. Do you have a climb speed, or do you have that mobility yet? Unless you
I don't think I have the climb speed yet, but I'm super agile.
Okay, so I believe climbing. Yeah. Climbing without is just be an athletics check and movement. Then
athletics check.
Yeah, and you do have. You're raging, so that is a strength check. So you'd have advantage.
Just always going to be shooting up from now on, so I get advantage. 15.
15 will do it, I'd say. So you you start running along the sidewalk, and then start jumping on trash cans and the ledges that go out, like the stairs that go out to the street, and you hop up, and then you manage to run on the wall for a second, and then you just barely grab a second story windowsill, and you're hanging there for the moment. Okay, Beast Boy, it's your turn.
Okay. How far away? I was flying.
Yep.
And did he climb up on a different building? Is that where he is?
Yeah. So just tell me the Great Giant Owl's movement.
60 feet.
Okay, 60 feet should definitely be enough, and you can fly up. Well, so it's enough to get you to over where that where the entry to the road is, and then you could dash. I mean, so what was your movement? Your regular movement, Robin?
45 feet.
45 feet. He's 45 more feet down the sidewalk to the left and hanging off a windowsill. So you'd have to dash to get to him.
Can I go to the roof where he's hanging? Can I fly to that spot? The roof above where he's hanging?
Yes. With the angle, I don't know that you would be aware of exactly where he went. You'd notice that he turned left. So, yeah, you could fly over the roofs in the direction
if
that you
dash,
see.
Can I make it there?
If you dash, it would cut some distance.
It would cut what?
It would cut some distance short if you would just you flew up and then over the roofs.
Yeah, I want to fly up and over the roof. I could see really well as an owl.
Yeah. So I'd say, yeah, and he hasn't been able to make a hide action yet. So I'd say, yeah, you can cut over the roofs and be where he is. You said you had 60 feet of movement?
Yeah, so double that.
Yeah.
If I dash would be
if you dash. Yeah, it would be 120. I don't think that the roofs...
I just want to fly to the top of the roof where he's climbing down, if I know where he is.
Yeah,
and I want to land there. I want to turn into Beast Boy.
All right, no problem.
And I'm gonna say, fine. Well, maybe we don't need a leader anymore. And I'm like, hey, dogs, call it off. Because I don't hurt my friends like him. Unlike him. And I just walk away.
Raven, what are you doing? Well, you're stunned still. You're stunned. So you're stunned. You're kind of still gasping for air there. So it goes back to you, Robin, with that proclamation from Beast Boy, and then he just kind of starts walking back towards Raven and the dogs. Kind of along the ledge of the roof.
He might not be close enough, but kind of quietly, you hear Robin say, "I'm sorry," and then use the fly spell to just jet away.
You hear something that maybe you don't fully process at this moment, but you do think you hear him mutter an apology, but it's quickly drowned out by the activation of these rocket thrusters on his shoes, and you turn around and see Robin as this new figure, Red X, jetting off into the night sky.
Top 10 most dramatic moments with rocket shoes.
Damn, Watch Mojo would make a list for that. With you all there, the rest of you kind of you slowly start to recover. Cyborg, your systems come back. You start moving again to Blink Dogs probably licking your face and stuff. And shortly, even before that, Raven, you catch your breath again. The pain sort of subsides from where he hit you, and you start to be able to move. But you three are there with your Blink Dogs. You don't know where Starfire has gone back to yet, so I think that before we do anything else, I would like to ask, Starfire, where did you go?
Back to the tower. I went back to the tower. I got into the shower, and I'm eating some homemade glorg in the shower. And after that, I think I come out, dry myself off in a towel, and I start scrapbooking.
Mm-hmm. It takes you a little bit to work that, even in the shower, to work that goo out of your hair.
That's fair.
Now there is a moment. I'm totally gonna it's totally fair if you just shoot this down. It's your choice. But there is a moment where getting it out of your hair is so frustrating that you could choose to just cut your hair. It's up to you.
How much would I lose?
It would be like shoulder length.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Okay.
We have the female we have the female character growth symbolic moment in the show where trying to get this out of your hair, even with the water and the earth soaps that you're putting in it, there's so much stuck in it, but it got mostly the lower end, and you look in the mirror and it actually is hard with the Earthling's steel scissors, but you manage to, it's not the cleanest job, but you manage to cut it off. And you go out, you said into the living space?
Yeah.
All right. So the rest of the group, I would assume you guys are going to head back to the tower.
Oh, yeah.
Are we going to discuss before we go, or just head back?
I could see us being really angsty and just not talking the whole way back, honestly.
Yeah, I go to Riff. I'm like, are you okay? Did he hit you?
She looks like she doesn't want to talk and just floats ahead, basically.
Yeah, we go back. I'm not talking.
All right. I think basically, so given how long it would take to work that stuff out of your hair, Starfire shortly after you've only been sitting in the living space for a few minutes, maybe probably like 10 minutes, and the group, you hear the access indicators, and the group is heading up to the living space. Do you want to wait for them, or
No, I'm just gonna keep doing my thing.
All right. So you guys, you get into the living room area, and you see Starfire sitting there. Did you say you were eating something, or you're doing something else?
Oh no, I was eating while I was in the shower.
Okay, cool.
I was eating glorb while I was in the shower. It tastes like sushi mixed with ice cream.
Oh.
But I'm now just kind of wearing like a big fluffy robe, and I am like I said, going through like scrapbooks and sort of pasting in like old pictures.
Okay, so you all see her sulking there, and you notice some of your hearts kind of fall a little bit, that she's hacked off her beautiful hair. So yeah.
Yeah, Beast Boy sees that, and he feels like he normally would make some witty retort, but he just drops his head.
I kind of freak out for a second. I walk straight over to Starfire, and I grab her shoulder and I say, "You are a very beautiful woman, and I am sorry that you're sad." And then I storm off my way.
Stupid.
He's trying so hard.
I think I snap out of my my own little depression cage and just sort of look at him confused for a second before retreating back in. This is Teen Titans. Little question marks appear over my head.
Yeah.
I walk back and I say, just in case you weren't, feeling pretty. I don't know. Go. Robin sucks.
You can say that again.
Oh, who am I kidding? How are we gonna have a team without him?
Does this mean we have to pick a new leader? Because I don't want to be leader.
Does Robin suck? Or have we failed him?
Robin blows!
He definitely sucks.
He betrayed us. He went on a mission by himself, and he didn't even let us know.
He also attacked me after we knew it was him.
I'm in the hallway listening to this, and I just turn around and I walk back. I'm like, okay, guys, look, I know Robin did this thing, but we all knew he's capable of getting obsessive. We all know what he is about. Robin doesn't suck. He just sometimes sucks. And he's going through a hard time right now. And I hate it. But you know what? He's gonna get over it. Unless he dies first. And that would make me very sad.
I chuck a book at him. I chuck a book at Cyborg. At the part where he mentions dying, I chuck a book at his head.
Hey, all I'm saying is, what he's doing is very dangerous. And instead of being mad at him, we could, I don't know, be worried about him. Did you ever think about that? That maybe he's doing what he thinks is best, even though it might be the wrong thing. And it's not good for him.
That was beautiful. I want to say, but I just want to also interject and say the wisdom of you either get over it or you die first.
That's the part that I chucked the book at him.
Yeah.
It was just a little much, especially since Starfire is clearly upset.
I think that the particular picture that I'm sort of gluing into the scrapbook right now is maybe one with Blackfire in it, where like maybe she's doing like the antlers over my head, you know, and I don't really notice it. And
yeah.
I say, you say we can be worried about him or we can be angry at him. Why can we not be both?
He says, because, well, yeah, of course you can. But, look, I'm angry too, but we can't just sit here brooding in anger. I don't know.
Does Robin need to be saved, or do we need to be saved?
Look, sometimes Robin is a hero. He thinks about things. He'll save the day, but from the darkness in the back alley. But you know, sometimes Robin is the princess. Sometimes he needs to be saved too. Because, you know, he's not perfect. He's just a really great guy, and my friend, and generally competent, and trying to be more than he can be. And, I don't know where I was going with that.
Well, I don't see how we're supposed to help him when he keeps running away.
That's true. Maybe we can, handle all the other things that are going on to make sure that he is not distracted.
I think we should help stop Slade. That's what he wants, right?
Yeah, that would probably work too.
If Robin finds Slade on his own, he will continue being like Slade.
We don't know that.
I just sort of give like a knowing look and don't argue with you.
That's fair.
At least we know where he's headed.
Right. The only way to stop Robin is to stop Slade first.
He stole those chips, right? He stole that chip. He's after the other ones we learned about. We have the locations.
We have to follow Robin to Slade.
Well, I'm down.
I think that's our only choice.
Okay. Is that the plan?
Alright, so we need to craft the ultimate stealth mission somehow, guys.
You mean our disguises from before aren't good enough?
I think what I'm positing is that we legitimately try and track Robin until he finds his way to Slade, and then we take out Slade.
I think he'll be untrackable. I think we need to try and... Do we know he wants those chips? And Robin needs to go get those chips.
He wants those Doritos.
Wait, we can finish...
So...
We got distracted by chasing Robin.
We beat him there.
Look, we were already doing this in the first place. We got distracted by chasing Robin, or the Red X. Why don't we just finish what we started? Finding Red X. We are already halfway to the lead. Right? That's why we dressed up as those bad guys. And, I'm still, what was my name again?
Megatron?
Megatron.
Yeah. And so, just for a refresher, Slade told you basically that there were 2 more chips that he wanted, and he told you what those chips were and where they were. So you guys could safely assume that if Robin had a similar plan, that he would be getting that information from Slade as well, and his next targets would be those 2 chips.
So we get them first. At least get there before him and maybe stop him.
I don't know if... Should we steal? I don't...
Well, no. He stole.
Robin stole.
The thing that we were trying to protect, he just stole it.
Yeah, well, you know... Look, Robin may make mistakes, but if he would make a plan for those not to end up permanently with Slade. If I know one thing about Robin, that's something he wouldn't let happen at the end of the day. So he's at least got a plan for that.
So you are suggesting that it will be okay if we steal the chips as well?
If we steal them first, then he couldn't give them to Slade.
Right.
But then he wouldn't find Slade. But then he would not be going by himself.
Are we stealing the chips first in order to eliminate Slade, or are we following Robin to Slade?
I mean, I think those are our two options.
Perhaps we should vote, as we do not have a leader.
Democracy.
Are we trying to...
Yeah, sorry to skip ahead to what, season 3 episode, the weird 4th of July episode.
Are we trying to capture him? I mean, he's pretty... He's hard to catch.
My suggestion is eliminating Slade before, like, that's I can't strategize very well as Starfire because she's never depicted strategizing in the show. But
that is the best possible situation. Robin won't stop obsessing until Slade is out of the way.
So yeah, like trying to capture Robin sounds like a non-starter that really wouldn't fix much in the long run. Whereas
so we need to capture Slade before he does.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We can do that via our supervillain personas or via trailing Robin. Like, which way do you guys want to go?
Do you think they figured out who we were?
Can we roll a check on that?
I mean, we could always do a different disguise.
No.
I could be Mega.
Of course, they didn't know who we were.
Instead of Mega Brawn, I could be like Mega Prawn or Kron. Wow, Prawn sounds bad. Mega Kron.
I had my whole entire body covered with pink. Nobody could see me. Nobody knew who I was.
So are we going with the villain plan?
Hold on, I have
that we just basically out Red X.
I have to Google Mega Prawn.
I don't know if we made very good villains. I don't think we should make very good villains.
Huh. It just pulled up a Mega Apron. Neat.
We really are incapable of making decisions without Robin, it seems. Because I keep suggesting things and everyone goes quiet.
I feel like you guys were on a good track for like a vote between two choices, which was either...
And then everyone just stopped talking about it.
Yeah, and then everyone started like meandering off. So you could, if you wanted to, my humble recommendation, you could return to that binary and say, okay, are we going to try to cut him off at every pass in order to stop him from going further in the plan, or B, are we going to let him continue along this path but pursue him all the way, so that we can meet him at the final confrontation with Slade?
No, well, those weren't the choices I was positing.
See, but how would we follow him, like without like getting ahead of him?
No, the choices I was positing were either A, we like follow basically in his shadow the whole time until he gets to Slade. We pop out, bum rush Slade, clobber Slade before Robin even can. Or B, we dress up in our supervillain costumes and we get all the chips first because there's more of us. And we meet Slade and we kill Slade, and Robin is just a poor imitation of what we're already doing.
I vote for the latter. Why? Because I think that just chasing after Robin is a bad idea. I feel like if we just follow on his trail, we'll get in his way. I think if we just follow on Robin's trail, we'll get in his way. And he'll get mad at us, and probably we'll mess everything up. Whereas if we take our own route, hey, maybe we'll actually find out something he doesn't know, Or maybe we'll just approach it from a different angle. One way or another, either we get Slade or he gets Slade.
Yeah, because I don't think we'd be able to keep up with him, and even so, he would know that we were following him, because I don't think we would be able to be sneaky enough about that. And then, like, we would just be right behind him, and I don't think he would let us be behind him.
Okay, so that's what 2 votes for team for Plan Supervillain?
Plan Supervillain.
What's Raven's vote?
I don't care.
Okay. Then I think it looks like it's Plan Supervillain.
Okay.
All right. Do you think I need to wear a mustache this time?
All right.
I think it would help.
All right.
All right. So basically, there's a moment where you guys, you all get back into your supervillain disguises, and you're all standing there dramatically. Well, actually, here's the question. Are you doing this tonight?
Ooh, I think we should rest, right?
Definitely rest.
It's nighttime. We should sleep.
I hope Robin is resting too.
Yeah. Speaking of, so Robin, you have been able to jet off and return to your secret hideout. You're gonna have to stay here probably because you can't go back to the tower.
Nope.
So your next plan for this night was to contact Slade. You were able to reverse engineer or like to find the frequency of the communication that he did to the robots. Even though he destroyed it, you were at least able to do that. So you can create a communication along that signal. So you could present your offer to Slade. Is it still your plan to do that next?
Yes. So okay. I want to create that connection, see if I can contact Slade for this.
Okay. Let me drink some water.
Gotta get that Slade voice out.
Yeah. All right. So, all right. So, yeah, basically, you set everything up. The signal starts to come clear. And the scene opens again to that. The screen opens to that scene again of Slade standing there in the darkness. What do you say?
Little Birdie told me you were looking for this. I hold up the chip.
He's quiet for a moment, but you could almost swear there, he's wearing a mask, but you could almost swear there's a raised eyebrow situation going on. And he looks and says, My, we have many ambitious parties this evening.
Many? What do you mean by many?
What are you contacting me for?
Well, I heard that you were the big man on the block right now. Wanted in. Partnership.
A partnership. My, we are ambitious. But an alliance cannot be formed by one small chip. If you're going to win my trust, I'll require more.
What are the tasks that you're looking for me to do then?
Well, for starters, I will require 2 more similar chips for my plans. Also, I must be honest with you. You are not the only party that has come to me in request of partnership. You will need to prove yourself against your competitors.
Seems like I'm the only one that has a chip so far. 2 more to go.
If you can not only acquire these chips first, but prove your strength in defeating these competitors, then we can meet and discuss partnership.
Who are these competitors? Or should I say victims?
He goes, I will forward their descriptions to you. And then the screen shuts off, and you are sent a data packet. It contains the locations of the 2 chips that he wants, and then there's just an image. It looks like an image probably from the perspective of like someone talking to him through a transmission, like you had been, and it is of the group in their villain costumes. Go ahead and roll perception.
Wouldn't that be like investigation?
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, do you want to? Well, yes, it would. That is correct. Thank you for giving me a better roll for Robin.
Oh,
so
geez.
Yeah.
We were in disguise. Like I stand by that.
No, fair enough.
But they were disguises.
Go ahead and roll investigation. He rolled a natural 20 for a 32. Holy shit. Okay,
It's just one of those things where Robin looks at it, and it's just like it's not even like for a second. Like immediately he sees it, and just kind of like all like the camera hears is like a
yep,
just a heavy sigh.
one of the famous Robin sighs, Robin as depicted by Ryan sighs. Okay. Yep, that's it. So you know who it is. Okay, so you know your plan moving forward. Are you progressing with that this evening?
No. I don't think so. I am really beat up.
Yes, you are very beat up. Now, the only plus I would say to your not being in the tower is you don't have to keep up appearances anymore.
Right.
Before,
he can sleep
naked.
Yeah.
So you don't have to get up at a time that like the usual time you would get up. You can sleep in order to get a full rest. Because before you would have had to get up early like Robin usually would in order to present appearances, and I was going to start tacking on exhaustion points for that reason.
That would have been cool and dramatic.
Yep, it would have. But anyway, yeah, so you can sleep long enough where you are. Not the most comfortable in this place. You weren't planning to have to sleep here, but you can set up and rest. And the rest of the team, I assume you guys are also resting.
Yeah.
All right. So the next day comes. Now, you guys know that during the day, these places that have the chips, well, they're open and there are people about, people working or visiting or things like that. So are you going to try to go for the chips during the day, or are you going to wait until that evening? And if so, is there anything you are doing in the meantime? Either group.
Scout it out during the day.
Yeah, can we do that? Like, would that provide, do you think, any like tactical advantages?
Sure. Yeah, maybe.
Like, I would at least want to know if they have like security cams or security like.
I mean, Robin is a little baby Batman, so like I think I'm going to assume he's probably going to move in the night. That could be a false assumption, but especially since he can hear us.
Can hear all your plans.
But you can't use that meta knowledge to beat us in this race.
No, so my question is also, is this like easy information that Robin could also figure out that they're open during the day?
Oh yeah, that's obvious.
Yeah. Okay, just making sure that I'm not meta-knowledging.
Yeah, no, I was saying that for the benefit of both groups.
And what are these facilities? Are they research facilities or?
They're like, so they're buildings in the tech sector that are like sort of open, or at least there's a part of them that is open to the public to like, ooh, look at this new cell phone or fucking whatever, that people can walk in. But there's like other stuff further in the buildings that is like the real stuff that's like kept under lock and key. Now, they're less secure than the previous place that the chip was, but there is more active guards and just lots of people in the public during the day. Like you could bust out of one of these buildings and be in a busy street and everyone would be like, holy shit, supervillains. So it's just up to you guys, like how you want to do it. So yeah, the facilities are sort of pseudo secure, like Apple stores in essence.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
I have a question. If I'm wearing a pink onesie thing and I transform into an animal, do I transform into an animal and like my objects go like in
yeah, druids. Now, if you were going to ask me how that's done in the show with his clothes, I wouldn't be able to answer you. But with druids, you're able to assimilate the items and clothing into yourself if you choose.
And so I could change into an animal and I can change back and I would still be in the pink suit.
Yes.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Sorry, that was totally off topic. I just was curious.
No problem. Yeah, I think the best thing we can do is try and scout out split up and try and scout out the 3 facilities.
All right.
I can turn into different people, so that should help me.
I have a hand that I'm very proficient with.
I can turn into a spider or a small lizard or a mouse and scurry through the pipes and try and find its location.
I can float.
Like into an apple and like not be noticed?
Can you turn invisible?
I can float.
Could I?
Well, there's only 3 locations, so maybe you can do something else.
I can always send my raven out.
There's 2.
Oh, true.
What would it take?
One is already.
What would
There's 3 chips. One is already taken. So.
Right.
What would it take for me to hack the security cameras?
An Arcana check. You'd probably want direct. So the location is probably isolated, not connected to. There's barely internet, but there's internet, but you know. So to hack, I'd say you'd probably want to get into their servers. Now you sort of already had credentials to get. Well, into the last place you got it wirelessly, whatever. But to make this a little more spy movie-esque, if you got your hand in there and connected it to one of their like USB in the finger, you would have a direct access, like infallible access to the database, and it would be very easy. You could try to do it wirelessly. I would just make the DC higher.
Yeah. Well,
I should, before you do that, I would like to discuss the fact that like we don't necessarily we want to do everything we can not to raise an alarm or suspicion. Like we don't want them to strengthen their security.
Yes.
Like so, don't do anything that leaves like a trace that they've been hacked.
But if I do this, I take over the security system, and I can make that easy.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Looks like this is a hand job. I'm going to.
Oh, God.
I was waiting for that the whole time.
You were fucking waiting for that. Okay. So you guys are all. I'm guessing you're gonna go. So all right. So the 2 locations. There are 2 locations. They're relatively near to each other in town because they're both in the tech sector.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you guys, there's a time of day that's sort of busiest where details, where security is probably the most vulnerable. I'd say Robin knows that off the bat, and Cyborg coming at it from like a, oh, when is a good time for me to sneak my hand in there? I hate what I just said. You are like, it'd be better if there are more bystanders around, so that security is paying more attention to them.
I feel like I've seen this anime before.
Okay. So yeah. So basically, you guys are going to be approaching either one or the other. The best time to approach either one of the other is probably about midday, about lunchtime to mid-afternoon is when they'll be the busiest and best. You'll have the easiest opportunity for surveillance. If you went at like right when they opened in the morning, for instance, or later at night when they're closer to closing, then one person, with their sunglasses looking around, looks a little more suspicious, might cause some suspicion from the guards. And this is stuff I actually have to think about now because I just got a job as a security guard.
Nice. Perfect.
So we're trying to hit the lunch rush, is what you're saying.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So, we'll do this as a series of. So basically, I know Cyborg, you're gonna try to get into both of these places with your hand.
Okay.
So I know you're gonna do that. So what that would be it's either gonna be a stealth check from your hand.
Okay.
And then an Arcana
I'm
check.
good at stealthy hand things.
Okay. Well, so it's either going to be a stealth check from your hand or a sleight of hand in order to get your hand close enough your own self so that your hand is in a good position to fully take advantage of the situation. I hate
can also get really tiny and sneak into things if
Yes.
you need to know what.
All right. Let me look at the stats of my hand.
Yeah.
So, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Robin would probably
Yes.
be trying to
do the same things, yeah. Or at least scouting it out.
Scout an idea disguised really well as son of billionaire playboy philanthropist Bruce Wayne, Dick Grayson just going in and checking these places out.
Oh, fuck you.
Yep. Advantages of a secret identity and not being like green.
It's gonna get awkward because I turn into son of billionaire philanthropist.
No. You can't do that. That's too meta.
The main reason I bring that up is there any chance of these two things crossing? If there's not, it's fine. I just wanted to put that out there ahead of time.
What do you mean?
Why?
So, Dick Grayson's probably going to go in, talk to the people in charge, see what they have to offer, kind of schmooze them a little bit about wondering about their tech advances. Not sure with my high passive perception if I'd see anything.
We'll get to that.
That's why I was like ahead of time, just throwing that out there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, okay. So that's good to know. That's your general plan, and it's not complicated.
No.
It'd basically be some very, very easy charisma checks because you're a billionaire playboy philanthropist, Bruce Wayne's adopted son. They're gonna know, someone in each store is gonna know that immediately, and they're gonna be like, "Let me sell you this new shit because you have a lot of money." Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So that's your plan. Now, let's iron out the plan for the rest of you guys. So, as Beast Boy mentioned, Beast Boy, you could sneak in there as like a tiny little flea or a spider or something, and you could find where this thing is, and then it would be much easier for Cyborg, if you wanted to sneak his hand in there, to do so.
Yeah.
Also, there's a Raven that Raven can use for reconnaissance, or just keeping an eye out on things as well, if you want to do that.
Can the Raven? The Raven can't turn invisible
now. No.
I was looking at my animal cards, and it's funny because like the stealth is confusing on these, because like a stealth of a spider on this is +3, but a stealth of a panther is +5 or 6 or something. And I'm like,
so,
but obviously that would be like in this situation,
right. So
like technically could win, but that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So basically, it's kind of also like it's a relative to the situation, right? So a panther is obviously very stealthy in the jungle or in the dark, but is more noticeable in a crowd of people. So in this case, this is a case where, as a DM, basically employs some adjusted DC checks to things. If you say, I'm going to be a tiny little spider and crawl along the wall and go through the vents and do all that, you're going to have a much easier time than, say, trying to roll stealth as a panther.
I will start being a little tiny flea, and I will hop around and change into either a spider or a mouse as needed to scurry around into the pipes.
Okay, so give me a general stealth check. The DC will be adjusted for the fact that you're being very, very small animals, and insects and things. Now,
I start by hopping from people's head to people's head.
Oh my god! It's like that horrible, horrible episode of Arthur.
I was thinking of that too.
I love how we all know of that episode and all are just like, what was that definitely was one of the more memorable, like,
curse those Canadians.
Cursed episode. Stealth roll.
Yeah, stealth roll, and even if you don't do super well. Oh my god.
Oh.
Wow.
How?
So for the audience, she rolled a natural 1. I think for
How do you feel as a spider?
So, oh boy, there's two routes I could go. Wait, hold on. I want to remind you that you do have luck.
Wait, I do have luck. I forgot I took that.
Yeah.
I can use that.
Because otherwise, holy shit!
No!
Oh my god! That is
another one.
You rolled another one.
Hey guys, see this? This is what it feels like to roll like me.
Does she just like get stepped on because she's a spider?
I think I got splatted and I turned it back into Beast Boy, like on someone's face.
You probably just got stepped on, dude.
Yeah. Holy shit! So. Okay. No, that is exactly what I was thinking about, actually. So basically, you're going about it. Everything's going good. You're a flea. You're doing whatever, and you guys are in the first place. Let's say it's the place for the green chip, because why not? I'm assuming that Cyborg, you're. What is your plan for, like, are you disguising yourself? Are you disguised and in there, or are you waiting outside?
I think you gave me the option of having just my hand roll a stealth check.
Right.
That's probably what I'll do, just because my hand's stealth and everything is probably better than mine.
Okay.
So probably finding a way to slip in, maybe get it inside a hole that will get into a duct somewhere and crawl around.
Basically, basically there's two routes for you to go about this. So you could either be like guy in a trench coat being weird, or you could be like charismatic and be like, hey, I'm Cyborg, I like to come check out how the tech is going, because obviously. And then they'd know who you were there, but you would have an opportunity to attract attention and maybe get your hand slipped in.
I thought the implication was that he was sending the hand by itself and activating it from a distance.
Right. Yeah, you could do that, but it depends on where that distance, where you want it to be. You could be in the building over, or you could be on the show floor, and you could just have your hand in the crook of your arm or something.
I would really prefer to do this without them seeing me.
Okay.
Or me presenting myself as myself. That would be my goal.
All right.
But of course, they don't really know it's me because I'm Megadron.
Okay.
Are you Megatron right now?
No, are you Megatron right now, or what? Because if you get spotted, it's either going to be, Daddy, there's a weird guy in a Megatron cosplay, or it's going to be, look, Daddy, it's Cyborg.
Yeah, I'd prefer not to be seen if I can help it. So if I can go to another building and chuck my hand over like a football and.
All right. Yeah, you can get your hand on the roof somewhere, and then it could go through the ventilation system.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and basically, what you were kind of hoping to be waiting for was Beast Boy's advance information about exactly the route, so that you don't spend as much time with your less stealthy hand searching around. But that doesn't really work out, as we see. As Beast Boy, at first it's going well, but then you step into a spot and you look up, and there is at this point you're in between morphs. You're not quite something as resilient or small as a flea. You're maybe a little bug or something, but you get knocked around, and there's this shoe coming down, and it steps on you, and it does, well, for a flea it does enough damage. Or for an insect, it does enough damage, and you warp back into Beast Boy.
Am I behind where the people are supposed to be?
Could the flea ride my hand like a horse and guide it?
Well, but that would have been opposite to the original proposed.
Okay.
Yeah,
that would have been a completely different plan.
We didn't do that plan.
Okay, sorry.
I rolled 2 nat 1s. We can't.
Oh,
that's what happened. So basically, Beast Boy trying to get through to the back area, almost gets there, gets stepped on, pops back into Beast Boy. Now, Beast Boy, you said you were wearing your villain clothes or your regular clothes?
I was wearing my regular. Well, I don't think we were being the villains yet.
Yeah, no, that would be stupid.
Yeah.
So I would be in my regular clothes.
Okay, there's shock. The lady who stepped on you screams. There's kind of a bustle around. Everyone's kind of looking around and muttering. And the security comes out. Now they recognize you, but it's a very confusing moment. Now, Starfire, you were disguised as someone and looking around this store. Who are you disguised as?
Oh, a lady scientist.
A lady scientist. Okay. Lady scientist. Good. Now, Raven, I'm assuming you're also lurking around, and you could be dressed however you want. Now, people getting up close might be able to tell it's you. But you also can have your Raven outside. I mean, having the Raven inside would be weird, and people would be like, there's a fucking bird in here. But you could have it outside keeping a lookout. But where do you want to be?
I mean, I'm probably just hanging back, to be backup because I can't really. I mean, I could disguise myself, but I'm not going to get very far.
Right, right. So you're probably a little ways away, but your raven is keeping a lookout over the crowd, probably, perching on, street lights and things like that. People pass by you. They occasionally ask, ask you for a picture, and that's less annoying than the people who just see you, pull out their phone and like their flip phone and take a picture without asking anything. But that's
Rude.
just sort of the superhero slash celebrity life. But you're out there and some people are like kind of gathered around, but everyone kind of knows your reputation. You don't fuck with the paparazzi whole thing very much, so people kind of give you a decent berth.
The paparazzi.
You're not one of those celebrities. But so basically you start to barely notice that in the store that they were in, there starts to be this commotion. Starfire, you're more in the store as this lady scientist persona, and so you notice right away when this commotion starts to stir up, about someone's yelling. Someone's like, "Wait, that's a Teen Titan. What are they doing here?" And they start talking, and people are just generally like confused. They're still like kind of shocked about his appearance.
I'm walking around there and I'm thinking this is just like Ocean's 11. I haven't seen Ocean's 11. This is exactly like that. And then I see Beast Boy, and I just go, a Teen Titan. He does not belong in this facility of science. I will escort him out.
I just like put my hand on my head and just kind of laugh sheepishly.
Yeah,
sorry.
some people there, some guards are just standing there like confused, like they're kind of looking at each other like they don't know what to do. But as you say, like you're like, "Oh, I'll lead him out. He's not supposed to be here." One kind of goes, "Why wouldn't he be supposed to be here?" He just kind of mutters that, and then like the other one just kind of shrugs, and they don't really stop you. They just are probably going to write it down in their report as like, "Yeah, Beast Boy was here. It was kind of weird." That was it.
I go over and I lift him up like a cat.
Okay.
like baby Carrie.
I turn into a cat in her arms. I just flop.
And I just say, foolish superhero Beast Boy. There are no video games in here. And I walk him to the door.
Okay, so in all that, you basically Cyborg, you probably get a communication at some point that, okay, yeah, it's pretty much down to you and your hand. So you can feel free to do that.
Pretty much what happens when all the ladies abandon me.
Oh my god. Anyway, no one laughed.
I'm sorry. We're structuring this.
Ladies and Beast Boys.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll stealth.
Let's just do this. Yeah, I'm going to add in a flash of genius and
all right,
roll this baby. That's 15.
Okay, you get through the air ducts, no problem, and you get over the area. So you're trying to go for the security, is that correct?
Right.
You're trying to go for the security. So you basically where your hand ends up is in a vent looking down on like the guard room, like the room that they have with all the TVs looking through all the cameras and stuff. And and there's one on every room. Now there's most of them are like of the showroom floor, but there's some other facilities. And there's this one area that they have a camera in this room trained specifically on this floating green chip.
Booyah!
All right.
Yeah, is there anywhere I could like stealthily jack into the system, or do I need to just watch the camera?
I'll say for a 15, your hands there for a while, and you actually find that the rotation for guards being in the room, either one or two at a time, in the security room, is pretty constant and responsible. So you don't know, you're not confident that you'll be able to get to one of the computers in that room to hack in directly to the security. It's probably safer for you to just try to do that wirelessly, even though it'll be harder. But you do know, like, if you wander around the air vents, you can figure out where the room with the chip is.
Okay.
But again, you're not the most confident about having the hand go in there yet, considering security.
So I
So you
think my
can't
goal,
get all that you want.
I think my goal right now is I am going to wander around the vents and kind of get a lay of the land of where it is spatially, but then I'm going to go back to the guard room and just keep an eye on the cameras and have that be my station until I decide to do something else with it.
Okay. All right. So that's the first one down. Now let's go to the other one, the where the blue chip is, which is where Dick Grayson currently is. So, Richard, what do you, what do you, what's your plan? You're going in there. You're gonna present the fact that you are Dick Grayson
Dick
and
Grayson.
have them schmooze up to you.
Yeah. At first, I'm kind of going to see if anybody like comes over to me. I'm just going to be like looking around at looking at their like. I'm assuming they have kind of an area that shows off a little bit of their tech. So I'll kind of be in that general area, just meandering around. If anybody comes up to me, then I'll schmooze that person. But if not, then I'll go.
Okay.
Look for
so
somebody.
you're not waiting long. That when with your passive perception, you you notice out of your peripheral, one of the employees kind of has been looking at you for a few minutes, and then he kind of walks over to one of his management staff and whispers in his ear. And that man looks up at you and kind of looks back and says, well, you can read lips, so you can tell he's saying, are you sure? And like the man covered, like kind of had his hand over his mouth when he whispered, but you can tell that the manager like kind of asks like, are you sure? And the man nods. And then that individual, that manager, starts walking over to you and says, I'm sorry. Are you? He says, "Can I help you with anything? Does anything interest you here, young man?" And you can tell, just kind of with your passive insight, that he knows who you are. He's just trying not to be too intrusive about it, but he does want to sell you something.
You have amazing tech here. I've been so interested in tech recently. I heard that you and the other company close by were one of the top people to look into if you were interested in new tech.
All right, tech. He is glad to answer your questions. He says, "Oh yes, indeed. We, um, now I must admit, I think we're a little better than our competitor across the street, but yes, this is the top area in Jump City, and in fact, in all of California, that you can find anything you need. What are you looking for?"
I don't know. What what's your most interesting thing here?
Hmm. Well, let me show you around, young man. He kind of like leads you, kind of like hand over your shoulder, leads you around, shows you some of the top things on the floor, um, and then says, for our more premium guests, I can get you through a few security checkpoints to see the cutting edge of what we're working on. Would that interest you?
That would highly interest me. I always love cutting edge technology. Try and say that 5 times fast.
Yeah. I was just, indeed, indeed. He's like, right this way, right this way. He says, oh, I just must double check. It would be embarrassing for me. Do you go by uh, Mr. Wayne or
Mr. Grayson or Dick, if you want to.
Dick, my good Dick? He leads you further in. And yeah, so he leads you around. You don't get to the chip per se, but based off of what he shows you, it's very easy to determine what room it's in. But he shows you phones and all sorts of things that would interest, and he even shows you some things that surprise you. Maybe he assumes you're one of those like real crazy billionaire types that wants to buy like some weird fucking like borderline weapon type thing, um that they have in the back under like military grade,
Oh, jeez.
things. A lot of weird stuff that you're not actually interested in, but fucking like computers and gaming systems and like yeah, here's a Porsche with a fucking machine gun on it, like, because why not? But because when you're stupid rich, that's the kind of shit you
Why
buy.
not?
But
Why not, really?
but he leads you around. Do you buy anything, or do you just let him give you the tour and then you're done?
I'll probably just let him give me the tour for now. Well, maybe something. Maybe so. How much funds do I have access to? Is really the question.
So, if you're gonna really lean into it, you always have access to your family bank account. Now, you try not to pull from that most of the time on principle, but if you want to really sell, the big investor thing, then you can do that. It's just a matter of like, well, in this era, it's probably just calling your bank.
I'd probably end up finding something that's like within the like 10,000 to 100,000 range.
Okay.
All right. And get something cheap on the cheap side.
Yeah, no problem. Just a cheap thing. Like, what are you thinking? Like a phone or video game console? What are you thinking?
Is there any kind of, I mean, like a super? I know it's a different kind of thing, but like a supercomputer, access to like something that's going to also help me as Robin to kind of like look at a broad range of things, better access, strengthen my that capability.
So basically, in a civilian sense, I'll say what you find looking for something like that is basically you find, since this is the DC world, they have advances much earlier than regular ones. So even it being 2003, basically what you get is like a pair. They have these pairs of sunglasses that can connect you to like all your digital interfacing. So like, your cell phone, your like a bunch of things. It's like a new product from Star Labs, and it's this personal. It's one of those things that only really rich people have. But basically, it's like Google Glass, but like sunglasses, and more advanced than that. Like you can access all your digital stuff, your information, your emails, and all those things in kind of an AR display. Perfect. And it also can give you live like information about like geotagged things that are in the world around you. Like that car is a Porsche, whatever, or like or whatever. It gives you tons of things like movie showings at in your area, and a ton of things like that. what probably interests you about it the most is that you could probably modify it to make it way better.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So you get that.
Perfect.
All right.
And during this time, how does the security look?
So with your passive perception, you can tell the security is moderate. The guards seem to be professional, but not they're not looking out for huge threats, but they're present. Then that's a big part of security work, is being present, deterring threats by just being there. But you get the sense that they're fairly relaxed.
And then escape options as well.
Oh yeah, so you easily mark all the exits, and from what he showed you behind the scenes a little bit, you know where the exits are. You've been keeping an eye on the air ducts around. You know how that goes, and it shouldn't be too much of an issue. They seem to only have a security camera system, and you doubt that they have infrared or anything like that. So invisibility cloak should, be, once you get past the initial perimeter, invisibility cloak should be sufficient.
Perfect. Well, then I thank him graciously and kind of make it obvious that I'm very happy with my purchase.
All right. He thanks you very much for your patronage, and as you head outside and start heading in the direction, there's kind of a crowd in the middle area of the shopping area. As you start heading towards the other store, he kind of you glance back and you actually see him kind of like call you suspect he's calling the other store and saying they have a big spender on the way, so just to make sure they grab that, because there's sort of a bit of camaraderie in this situation. Just and so you're heading in that direction, and about the time you notice that the crowd is sort of like there's been an influx of the crowd into that area. There's somewhat of a commotion, and so there's a little bit of a backup as you're waiting to head into the area. So with your passive perception, I would say at this point, I mean, you clearly see a woman in kind of like a lab coat and like, I don't know, maybe I'm taking liberties and you can shoot this down, Paul, but I imagine like those swirly glasses.
Yeah.
Like those swirly glasses.
Yeah, black hair and a bun, swirly glasses.
Mm-hmm. Carrying a green cat out and going, excuse me, like,
cat.
pardon me, like, and like out of the place, and people are kind of like, they're all looking in that direction, like that was the cause of the commotion. And then as people like kind of mutter to themselves, they start to disperse. But like it's very obvious, kind of, you're like, oh, all right, green cat. As you're heading into this area.
Well, I want to do my best to not be seen by them. I kind of like scan the area to see where the rest of them are.
Okay, go ahead and roll perception.
26.
26. All right. So you notice another huddle of people who kind of like slow in the main square outside. And as you're looking in that direction, part of it thins a little bit, and you do see Raven standing over there just with her arms crossed at one point in the area. And as you look around more, you do notice there is a raven a little ways away up on a light stand. And as you're looking around, I mean, you obviously notice the general direction of where that scientist lady in quotes and Beast Boy, it seems pretty obvious, went. You don't see Cyborg, but yeah, kind of where the rest of them are. So, yeah, are you going to proceed into the next store to like have a look at their situation?
Yes, with a kind of like using my skills with stealth to kind of become kind of one with the crowd so I don't stick out and kind of make my way into the store.
Okay, go ahead and roll a stealth check then.
28.
All right. I'm gonna assume no one's actively looking right now. Well, kind of, but I don't think y'all's bonuses or passive perceptions would necessarily get you past 28. Maybe Raven's, but she doesn't know who she's looking for exactly. So I'm gonna say, just based off passive perception for everyone, y'all don't really see. Um, feel free to argue if you want, but that's just my thoughts on it.
No, I don't think for him.
Right. Okay, so you get through with no problem. And as the kind of the crowd in the that store starts to relax and dissipate slightly, people are on the floor very quickly because a lot of people came into the store for their own to see what was going on, and now those people, the sales people, are going to try to get them as customers. So you're spotted fairly quickly. A similar thing happens as the last time, and yeah, you're pretty much led through the place with no issue, and you get a similar amount of insight into this place. Now, while that's happening, um, so other team, are you trying to go the same route as your initial plan for the store across the street?
Okay, yeah, I don't see why we should change something that's not broken.
All right, as long as it's less broken this time.
Just no more net ones, okay?
Yeah. So yeah, Beast Boy, do you want to sneak through to give Cyborg a better route of entry?
Yeah, if I could try again. Yeah.
Yep. It's a new place. It's a new day.
Let's go. It's a brand new day. I I will be a small bug or
All right.
no. Luck. Can
Now
I do
you
luck?
could
How many times do I have luck?
3 times a day.
Twice?
I
I
think it's
will
3 a
do
day.
luck.
I mean, feel free to look that up, but
Do
so
luck
that is a
again.
4. That's another luck because you rolled a
I
4.
will use another luck. What? Yeah, like, jeez.
That almost killed me. I laughed and just went into a coughing fit over the floor, like dying over here now.
Rip.
A 10. Okay, a 10, and you're doing it as a bug again?
I mean, a very small, hardy little bug.
All right.
I don't.
I'll say for that, it's not as bad as last time. But basically, what happens is like as you're a little bug and you're trying to get through the crowd, like all the people stepping and like doing things, like gets you turned around, and you basically just end up like outside the exit again, and you're all confused, and you're like, I don't know how to get through there.
Can I try and? Is there vents outside that like go into the building? Can I just turn into a mouse and try and get in that way and not even try and get through the people?
Sure. Now to find proper ones that don't just lead you to like the sewer or something, or or blocked off. I
Yeah,
guess
I mean,
roll
a vent of
investigation.
the building or like an open window. Is there like an open window? Can I turn into a fly and see if there's like an open window? Nah, that probably would be an open window.
The windows, I would say, are probably secure. But if you want to find an entry around the perimeter of the building, then go ahead and roll investigation.
I rolled an 11.
Okay. So I would say you find your way in. That doesn't mean you necessarily know where you're going. you do manage to get into the vent system. You're a little turned around.
Oh no, I'm gonna get lost in here.
Yeah, you could get lost in here. A couple times you turn around a corner and there's like a fan going, like in the air conditioning vent. And you're like, I can't go that way, so I want to get cut up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would say you know a way into the vent system now. I'd say depending on the animal, you could maybe find. So you could do another investigation check just to try to figure it out intellectually, or you could try to, if you have an animal form that you want to use that's small enough for the vents, you could try to follow your instincts or interesting scents and things until you get a better. And that'd probably be more perception based.
Okay, my perception is better. I figure a mouse would be good at scurrying around and trying. I don't know. I don't know what type of bug. I don't know what type of bug would be most effective.
Yeah, basically what I'm wondering is and even if there's a stat block for it, if it can be justified. Like if there's an animal, like a small rodent or like a raccoon or something, has good enough smell to justify the advantage on perception based on smell.
A weasel has perception plus. Okay, I'm gonna turn into a weasel.
Okay.
Weasel also has advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on hearing or smell, and it has perception plus 3. So, all right, I got a 20.
You are kind of puzzled and not sure what to do exactly, but you pick up a scent and then you quickly morph into a weasel to better follow that scent. And it's like sugary and like something warm and sugary that you smell, and you follow it to a room, basically to an air vent, and you look down and you see this room with a bunch of TVs in it, and there's some guards in there drinking coffee, and they have a spread of pastries and donuts freshly from a bakery. So you have found the security office. So yeah, you can, and you know your way back now, and so you can communicate how to get there to Cyborg if he wants to send his hand in.
All right, I will find my way back out and do that.
All right, cool. All right, so Cyborg, you get a communication at one point, Beast Boy telling you that he found the route and can lead the hand directly to over the security room if you would like to investigate with your hand the new building.
Yes. Good. Let's do it.
All right, so you get through it. You get in there, no problem. And basically, as that's all happening, so you get there, and you see the people. By the time that you're led back up, most of the pastries have been gone, and there's only one guy in his chair. He's leaning back against his chair, and he's looking a little sleepy. So you would just need a stealth check to get your hand down there, and connected to one of the
computers. Hacksaws. Let's do it.
All right, and I'll say you have advantage because you've been helped by Beast Boy to find the location at the right time.
Hacksaws with the helps. Ooh, yeah. That's 27.
Wow, how do you have such a big bonus to stealth for that thing?
It's that Flash of Genius gives me a +7, and it's 2 plus my proficiency as a base. So yeah.
Okay, cool, sweet. So yeah, you get through there. This guy doesn't seem to notice as the thing kind of crawls underneath his chair and sticks a literal thumb drive, in this case, into the modem of the computer, and it boots up, and you download the security schematics, and you now have a wireless connection to control the location's proximity detectors that are put on at night and their camera feed. You can make it look like whatever you want.
Good. I'll probably have to change a few things when the time comes.
All right. And you have no problem getting back out there. And yeah, so y'all's Ocean's 11 heist is done for the day. You'll have to remotely try to hack if you want the same control over the other store, but you know the layout of both, so you're all set.
Sweet. Let's do this.
Cool. All right, so you guys are gonna wait for the nightfall to do the rest?
Yep.
Okay.
I believe so.
Yeah, so basically I think the scene to end this episode is basically both groups walking away from their respective, from the crowd in two opposite directions. In one group that converges together, the Teen Titans with a lady scientist holding a green cat, and then in the other group, son of billionaire Bruce Wayne, Dick Grayson, walking away with a smug look. And it turns to like that painting like image like at the end of an anime episode, and that is our episode of Teen Titans Roll.
Yay!
Wow.
I'll be around about.
Oh boy.
So, I don't have a question.
Oh.
The world
How
is
could
over.
you?
I was hoping the universe would.
Before that, I do want to say, so we can knowingly speak all kinds of garbage, knowing that it's just going to make Joey have to edit more and more.
I'll kill
Hold
you.
on. Let me get up my list of offensive phrases.
Well,
All right.
Well, shut up.
Go
right now is the time, I guess. But if you do it in the middle of the podcast,
I have a good question.
I'm gonna randomly shout boobs and things like that.
I have a good
I
question.
don't care about that.
Oh, boobs!
Yeah, okay.
What